the point, because there is a need for a coordinated approach, and there is also a need for transnational approach to it. Yes, transnational in the sense that whatever you do, if states of Marathi is in there, particularly the states we share border with, yes, Nigeria, Niger, through either Katsina State, Zamfara, and Sokoto in particular, or Kebbi at the same time, you are also missing the point. So we must have a transnational approach, and that is exactly what the African Union security sector reform is all about, and that is what Resolution 2151 of the United Nations Security Council of 2014 actually is canvassing for. That is why in 2022, Katsina State convened a symposium or a summit of the entire Northwest governors, the 7 states, including the states of Zinder and Marathi.
So tell us more on how this operational center works.
So the Katsina State Command and Control, Joint Command and Control Center comprises 3 units. On the one hand, we have the operational unit, which has 10 action agencies in it, and it is coordinated by an army officer who oversee the operational activities of that unit. So it is called the operational unit. So the 10 action and defense agencies who were involved in the operation of the center include the Army, the Air Force, the police, the SSS, the Immigration Service, Customs, Correctional Service, so this basically are the 10 action agencies who were actually involved in running the operational unit of the center. Then we also have the research unit. The research unit has experts in research documentation, and who were involved in analyzing the information collected by the operational unit to analyze and make informed policy recommendations, that will guide the state in formulating policies relative to security sector governance and administration.
The center has been established and it has started operating, right?
Very well.
So can you share with us some of the successes you think it has started recording before its dismantling?
Yes. The center has recorded lots of successes. We have documentary evidences or documented evidences rather, which has shown that many attacks were actually foiled. It led to also the thwarting of many impending bandit attacks on rural settlements and communities. It also gave valuable information that led to the rescue and kind of rescue efforts by leading defense and action agencies, particularly the Army, as the center was actually led by an Army officer on the rank of captain. And at the same time, one very important achievement of the center, based on our documentation, was the fact that it has succeeded and helped in confidence building by restoring public confidence about security sector governance and administration, which had almost been lost. And precisely you could see the public disenchantment, kind of the public has become disenchanted with the government, particularly on its efforts toward fighting security. If we have people who are actively engaged as very active stakeholders coming to voice their grievances on the lack of on the kind of seeming lack of capacity or willingness or political will from the government to actually put a stop to this, then that actually calls for concern. And at the same time, the calls, particularly not only by the captain and the major who was the commander of the Security Watch Corps in Dandume, but equally what well-meaning Nigerians like General Danjuma calling on people to defend themselves, that is a clear indication of a total breakdown of order, as well as a seeming lack of capacity for the government to protect the citizens. And remember, this also shows clearly that there is a breakdown within the purview of the social contract between the government and the people, between the leaders and the led. And the social contract is an important segment of sovereignty and authority when it comes to governance. And the social contract theories like John Locke are actually saying that people are only obliged and duty bound to show loyalty to the government only and only when and if the government is able to defend the basic natural rights of the people. Right to life, their property, and their dignity. And banditry has actually, as a result of banditry, we are witnessing a kind of an expedient, as well as a very speedy, erosion of those, rights that people have. People have no basic right to life because they are being killed and lynched. Their properties are being looted. They are being kidnapped, and at the same time, ransom is being placed, and you sell everything you have, including your families and kings and friends. Everybody is going poor, particularly in rural areas where these things actually held sway. There is no dignity. Yes, people had their women, wives, children taken away, raped, whatever.
On the final note now, what advice do you have to Katsina State government and all those who are drivers of the security architecture on what to do to bring an end to this escalation?
Well, as we have been, reiterating in any forum, we actually have a platform to our voice to raise that the government should come back to its senses. Yes, reform the security, sector governance and administration framework. That is the most important thing. There must be.
The federal or the state?
I'm talking about both, the state and the federal. Even the federal itself has its own issues. Yes, and it has the mandate. The federal government has the mandate of coordinating, security governance and administration in Nigeria. So if it could not coordinate, then of course it has not lived up to expectations. So the federal government is the first culprit. And then the states have their own share of responsibility. Yes, we must have a coordinated, seamless approach to fighting insecurity. One, interagency collaboration is key, which the Command and Communication Center actually helps in giving a platform for the security agencies to coordinate, because there is one platform, even though they retain their kind of disarticulated models, because each security agency has either a command, or emergency center or call center in whatever form. Yes, but that coordinated center will bring on board every action, security and defense agency on board, with a shared, broad-based oversight, okay, where each kind of agency is actually accommodated and integrated within the Telegram and other communication platforms for seamless coordination as well as a response between them. Then there is also a need for interstate synergy and collaboration, yes, between the various states, particularly in the Northwest, such that we will have a seamless, coordinated approach to fighting the security. Because if you do something in Katsina and you fail to do in Zamfara, you are actually missing the point, because there is a need for a coordinated approach. And there is also a need for transnational approach to it. Yes, transnational in the sense that whatever you do, if states of Marathi, Zinder, particularly the states we share border with, yes, Nigeria, Niger, through either Katsina State, Zamfara and Sokoto in particular, or Kebbi at the same time, you are also missing the point. So we must have a transnational approach, and that is exactly what the African Union security sector reform is all about, and that is what Resolution 2151 of the United Nations Security Council of 2014 actually is canvassing for. That is why in 2022, Katsina State convened a symposium or a summit of the entire Northwest governors, the 7 states, including the states of Zinder and Marathi, in attendance on how to on how to tackle the issue of banditry, which has a transnational character affecting both Niger and Nigeria, within the states that I'm talking about, the 9 states, 2 states from Niger, 7 states of the Northwest region of Nigeria. And at the same time, that intrastate and transnational cooperation actually was aimed at not only forestalling the menace of banditry in the region, but at the same time trying to curtail the proliferation of small and light and medium, whatever, arms that are pouring in, yes, as a result of the porous borders we have in Nigeria, given the insecurity in Libya, which has become a kind of a medium through which small arms are actually pouring into Nigeria. So that was done. But unfortunately, the 2024 summit, because the first summit was in 2023 during the previous administration, 2022 during the previous administration in August, precisely, administration, exactly. The Northwest Governors Forum convened that summit in collaboration with Niger to actually have a coordinated approach to addressing the security issue. There was in 2024, that is 2 years after, during this administration, the Northwest Governors came under the auspices of the Northwest Governors. They actually convened a summit, yes, with the support of United Nations Development Program, UNDP, June 2024 to be specific.
Yes, here
June,
in Katsina.
here in Katsina.
But I don't think
Exactly.
there was a representation from the neighboring region.
That is exactly what I'm telling you. Yes, that is exactly the point I'm trying to arrive at. That there is a disconnect. Yes, because this time around, there was a disconnect. It does not have that transnational character that it had in 2022. And they said it is going to be an ongoing exercise, perennial.
But I think that was one symposium that we are still awaiting the recommendations made thereafter.
I believe many people have been actually.
There is none.
Yes, yes, I for one have not seen the report. Perhaps if there is, perhaps there may be a communique, but the recommendations, there wasn't?
To the best of my knowledge, of course. I covered and we waited for, but there was none.
So there has been concerns actually raised from certain quarters that it risks being a talk shop. And I hope it will not end up like that, because we are talking about almost a year.